Yeah, to kick things off, man, let's do, just for the music section. I'm just gonna do album shout out basically. So shout out to Mr. P Chill for his 14th studio album,
Wow.
Life Living in Fragile Environments. Yes, 14, right? He's a Sacramento rapper. He's been in the game for decades now. And it just shows in terms of the his golden age hip hop inspired flows and rhymes and his ear for like boom bap and jazzy rap instrumentals, right? And I mean, I'm a fan of those styles, right? I know, to the generation that like probably grew up on 2000s and 2010s music, they're probably not gonna rock with that so much. But I don't know. I just have a soft spot for for the old school now, for the foundation. You know what I mean? So I love that. I love that artists are willing to do it without feeling that they're stuck in some box or whatever it is. They do it because it's the passion, right? It's the craft, and you could hear it and you could feel it, right? um Late last year, I reviewed his digital album. This featured the A and B sides, Diggin', Creed Digger's Anthem, and Millions of Militants, right? Both of which were singles, and they actually show up on this album here, right?
Right.
And yo, I dug the hell out of both of those. Diggin' essentially is like a tribute to the art of crate digging, right? So, for y'all who not really know, this is where you basically comb through crate after crate after crate of vinyl records, and the idea is that you're just looking for that one loop, that one sample that you'll use when you make your beat, right? So it's something that I always wanted to get into. Not well, I mean, like, I'm not into music production. I want to get into it one day, but for me, it's more like I just want to own just this big ass file collection, right? So that's on my bucket list, basically, right? So yeah, it's a dope track though. I love the upbeat boom bap instrumental fit, and you could just feel the passion for that skill, basically, what I mean, in that song, right? um Militant Militant, on the other hand, is a darker cut, so it has this sort of Public Enemy inspired instrumental and just these aggressive lyrics, addressing racism, corrupt police, and well, Donald Trump, and just the shitty run that he had as POTUS, you know what I mean, which thankfully ended last year, right? And speaking of last year, he touches on the pandemic and how it just pretty much messed up the way he went about his career, right? So there's a
Right.
single, Social Distancing, featuring C Knowledge. I just kind of talking about just how he had to deal with the pandemic there, and how he was just able, well, I should say forced actually, to slow down for a bit, right? So there's a great song on it called Morning Coffee, where he kind of goes into detail of how he goes about his day to day. And just how he was just able to think about his future and his legacy, right? So there's a single and there's also a video fit called Where Do We Go, where he addresses that, right? But for me, what made this album work though is that, at his age, right? Well, currently 46 years old, he doesn't come off as, bitter or resentful over the fact
Right.
that he's not some multi-platinum selling artist, or, in some top five dead or alive or goat discussions or whatever it is, right? He's content where he's at, with his wife, with his cat, with his health, with his vinyl record collection, and just, again, 14 albums on this belt, right? Which is just really, really amazing. And quite recently, a music streaming award for this same album here, surpassing 50K streams in 6 months. So congrats, salute, keep up the great work. So yeah, I mean, if you call yourself a true hip hop head, I highly recommend giving Life Living in Fragile Environments a listen. And as I promised last week, now thoughts on Nas's new album by King's Disease 2, right?
Right.
So this is not going to be a track by track review. This is just my thoughts on the record, right? Ricardo, feel free to interject when you're ready, right? So
Sure.
just
Sure.
getting this out of the way. Yes, this is better than King's Disease 1, right? But in the
Right.
sense that he took what made the album work, right? This is Hit Boy's production, which suddenly mixed old school hip hop vibes with contemporary rap and trap based melodies, right? And him getting the best out of that's Nas, that is getting the best out of some rather unexpected guest features. Like, I mean, nobody expected to hear the Firm on King's Disease. Like,
Right.
nobody expected to hear um, Foxy Brown on a track, right?
Right.
But it happened, right? And just this mature viewpoint of life and success and legacy, you know what I mean, and all that good stuff, right? But here he just kind of expanded in such a way where it just really shows how relevant Nas is in the rap game today, Jen, and how you could really learn a thing or two about him in terms of just just being a better person, just bettering yourself, right? So just getting this out of the way. This is one of my favorite albums of the year, man.
Right. Okay. Nice
Yeah,
one.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
I really appreciated it myself. I was like, yeah, this is so much. Here's the thing. It I'll say King's Disease, the first one was so impressive that I kind of mixed it up with thing as I was saying last week. Because like, holy shit, my memory just totally merged it with Nasir now. That the Kanye West production now. I just completely forgot the first King Disease. I was like, wow, that kind of sad. Um,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
what's so amazing about that too, though, is that he won a Grammy for King's Disease, right? And you
right,
think, all right, well, he win a Grammy, he'll just do something else. But you're gonna make a sequel off of a Grammy-winning album, though. It's
right,
like, wow, you know what I mean? And I like that. Even when you listen, it doesn't sound like, all right, I just want to win another Grammy. It's just, no, I just have a lot more to say. So, and maybe deep down inside, he probably does not think, I don't know, that the first album deserved the Grammy, but he just put this out here. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, right? And I would say, yeah, this is one of my favorite albums from Nas period. I think the last
okay,
one
wow,
I really truly enjoyed was Hip Hop Is Dead from like 2006.
right,
Yeah, that's how far I going back. Like I'm probably one of the few who actually like loves that album. I know the big issue with it is the inconsistency with the beats, but I don't know. Like I just felt like he just picked as much great beats as he could, and he just did his damn thing on all of them, right?
right,
So speaking of beats, I was really impressed with the chemistry that Hit Boy and Nas had on this album here, right? I like that he didn't stick to like his comfort zone all the time, nor was he like trying to awkwardly trying to sound or rap like the younger rappers in the game right now, right?
right,
He does some triplet flows ever so often, like this track 40 Side, which is one of my favorite tracks here, but it doesn't sound weird or off-putting like he
right,
trying to add. Like the man is a technical rapper, like the man could do it, but it's just that he does not have to do it on every song to make himself, fit with the crowd now, basically. He doesn't have to do that, right? Um, and I like how the beats themselves could appeal to both old and new school hip hop heads, right? Like case in point, EPMD, right? Which the first version, I can remember it's EPMD 2 on this record here, right? That was on the Judas and the Black Messiah soundtrack, right?
right,
And that was a song and a beat that I didn't really quite vibe with because it had this kind of weird mix of like 80s synth and trap hi-hats or something like that. It just sounded kind of weird, you know what I mean? But I just love that, we had the sequel here and, because they brought in EPMD of all people, you had, oh gosh, Eric Suman and Parrish Smith, right? And they're together, you know what I mean? Just doing the thing. And it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? And then, of course, well, Eminem just coming through and just shutting shit down in a way that only Eminem could do. So I love that. I
right,
love how he shouted out DMX and, Biz Markie, among others, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, so highlights for me, I know there's a lot, but I'll just mention a few here. Um, I loved Death Row East, where he touched on the events which led to Tupac's murder. Moments. I absolutely love this song. I love the beat for this. I
yeah,
love the retrospective lyrics and this. The beat is just so warm and beautiful and a little tear-inducing for me. It's co-produced by John Sport J of all people. Like I didn't expect to see his name. He's a LA producer. I've been aware of him since he dropped his beat tape Pharaoh in 2017. I strongly recommend it. Check it out. It's a great beat tape. Nobody for me is my top favorite song. This
right,
is the one with Miss Lauryn Hill. And when
yeah,
you told me that the Lauryn Hill was on this, I was expecting it to be like singing the hook, like like if I really
no,
will, but no, she's like
no,
rapping. I'm like,
yeah, full version,
what?
yeah,
Okay. I mean, I love the idea of it, where it's like you think you know so much about these individuals, these celebrities. I think like with her in particular, oh, you know what I mean? She can't cope with how times are and she's crazy and she reaches late to
yeah,
all of her shows and all that kind of stuff. And she just kind of sit down and let people know, yo, I'm fine anyway. I'm good.
right,
You know what I mean? But don't be talking shit unless you know what's going on in my life. So I don't have to stoop to your level. I just love that she just took her good time just to address as much as she can. I love that verse. I love the song. I love the instrumental for this in particular. So smooth and jazzy, right? Um, and overall, what I just love about this record, though, is just how much of an elder statesman of the rap game Nas is, right? You know what I mean? He's
yeah,
seen it, he lived it, and he could just put out a record, just pretty much just let any next generation of rappers know, and rap fans is that you could make something out of nothing, right? You could achieve your dreams. You could be creatively and financially successful, and leave an impact on the world, and you could be true to yourself now. So I just love that. So this last thing I'll say though, did not expect to enjoy this album that much, and
Right.
also kind of found myself a little inspired by it too. Though. I mean, this
Yeah.
idea of black excellence and just being better and just improving on oneself, and then not just for selfish reasons, but just kind of to pave the way for the next generation. So I love that. So yeah, King's Disease 2, I did not expect to enjoy that much, but yeah, this is the best stuff for the year for sure, man. So agree or disagree, Ricardo?
Yeah. As I said, I put it in terms of my ranking of Nas albums. I put it around the same time as Godson, which is an
Right,
album I
right.
really enjoyed and loved. I remember listening, playing a lot, and I could see
Mhm.
myself playing this a lot. This is already in my jogging cycle. That's how I know it's good.
Ah, yes.
Rule of
I
thumb.
haven't yet jogged or walked to do, but I will. I will. I will.
Yeah, that's my rule of thumb. I just love listening to things. Like I've gone back to some old Dr. Dre, and then this is on the running cycle. So it's like, yeah, good. Rule of thumb.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
So yes, folks, those are two albums that we strongly recommend. That would be Life Living in Fragile Environments and King's Disease 2. So I mean, the OGs doing their thing, man. So give them the flowers while they're still here. So yeah, check those out.